Hello and welcome to the Bortry Broadcast. My name is Corey Bortry. Today I've brought on conservative activist Derrick Grayson from Georgia. We're welcoming him back to the show to talk about why losing the House in 2018 is an opportunity for conservatives in 2020. Thank you for listening, and if you find this informative, please leave a like and subscribe. Hey Derrick, how are you?
I'm good.
Now, we've had an interesting election the other day. The Democrats have taken the House. You've made the statement you're not worried. So,
No, I am not.
All right, so why shouldn't we be worried about the Democrats taking the House of Representatives?
Well, for a couple of reasons, maybe three. First and foremost, Donald Trump deliberately campaigned for senators and not so much representatives. Why? Because Donald Trump understood that senators have 6 terms. Also, there were 40 representatives in the House, I think that's the number, that decided to quit.
Right.
Most of them were Rinos. And the reason was to try and give the House the run in the first place. Because what people don't understand, when you have a well-funded liberal Democrat running against an underfunded newcomer conservative, most likely the Democrat is going to win. But with all of that, the net gain for Republicans was a positive. I think the numbers are, we picked up 28 seats and the Democrats only picked up 26, even though they got the majority. But that's fine, because with the majority, the only thing the Democrats can do, yes, they can impeach the president with a simple majority, and they have the majority. Okay, we'll give them that. But understand something. From history's point of view, 2 presidents have been impeached. Andrew Johnson for firing the Secretary of War, and Bill Clinton for lying about a blowjob. Okay?
Right.
Yes. Nixon knew that he would be removed from office, so he resigned before the impeachment process started. But both of the other presidents had a majority in the Senate, and they were not impeached. And that requires a 2/3 vote for impeachment that was not achieved. Okay? So, Trump, we have the Senate. We even picked up a seat. We now have a 52-seat majority.
Yeah, and it may very well be 54 by the time the votes are counted.
Okay, could be.
Yeah.
So, with all of that, the end game is not done. Now, looking at what Congress has been doing in the past, they have been spending us into hell anyway. So if they aren't able to, if they're going to play obstructionist and not pass spending bills, that's going to make them look bad because they have the majority. And if they're going to spend their time attacking Trump, Mitch McConnell, whom I do not like his politics, made a very valid point. It would be wise for you not to engage in presidential harassment. So that's where we are at the end of the day. They have the ability to control the purse, but they've been screwing us anyway, so I ain't worried about that. And if they decide to not pass any spending, it's going to make them look bad because they have the majority of the House. And, of course, the Senate is a stopgap. So even if they impeach Trump, it will mean nothing at the end of the day. And so what people need to be focused on is gearing up to get rid of rhinos in 2020. And I'll give you the perfect example, and then, I'll shut up. Karen Handel in Georgia's 6th district lost. She was Secretary of State promised that if she was elected, she would do something about voting fraud. She didn't. Essentially, she told the people that supported her, I was not one, she told them to piss off, and she didn't do anything about voting fraud. So, with that said, she has a 48% constitutional voting record. So I was glad that she lost. I'm glad that she's out. That's a rhino that we don't have to deal with in 2020. And many people that think that they are conservatives, they think they're conservative. They think that just voting R is enough. No, it's not. In the primary is where you get rid of rhinos. And anybody with a 80% or less constitutional voting record should be purged. Well, I'll shut up.
All righty. Well, you know what? That's a very good point, and it actually leads into what I was wanting to ask you next. Is 2020 is just around the door even now. You know, we've had the election, we've seen the results, but you know, now we need to focus, I think, on purging rhinos, like you say. So, what do we need to do now to purge rhinos? Because we can't wait until 2020. Because, like for North Carolina, that only gives 6 months of campaigning.
Okay. Well, conservatives need to start educating voters like I do. Because there are people that are Republicans that think they are conservative. We have to show them why they're not being conservative. And the only way to do that is to show them the voting record of the rhinos in the GOP. And the best place to do that is with the most unbiased rating system that's out there. It is thenewamerican.com /freedom-index. There are many of them out there, but they are put out there to benefit the rhinos. For instance, Barry Loudermilk here in Georgia, Freedom Works gives him an 89% constitutional voting record. But if you go to the Freedom Index, his voting record is 69%.
69%. Wow, that is 69. Not conservative. Wait, did you say 59 or 69?
69.
69. Okay, that's a little better, but still.
Well, dude, under 80, that ain't good at all. He just makes a very good liberal. Freedom Works is not a site that I would use as my litmus test in determining who is a conservative and who is not.
I would have to agree with you. Yeah, even conservatives who say they are conservative, even Republicans who may have been supported by the Tea Party in 2014, they are not conservative. A good example is Mark Walker. He's my congressman, and his voting record is 64%. And, you know, he was supposed to be a good one.
Yeah, well, my whole focus is purging rhinos in 2020. And God willing, I will run against David Perdue, who is a rhino.
Yeah, I
understand something. Yeah, understand. These are people who were not for Donald Trump, but now claim they support him because it is politically expedient. But rhinos are hoping that Donald Trump is stopped. They are hoping that he is stopped. Karen Handel was against Donald Trump until he won. Then she came out in support of him to win and beat Ossoff.
Yeah.
But I think her constituents rised up, and they didn't show up enough to allow her to beat her opponent, and she lost.
Yep, and that's a good thing too, because like you said, it's easier to win a seat when it's an open seat and there's not a Republican incumbent who's a rhino.
Yes.
And so that is an advantage, actually, rather than just having to beat the incumbents in a Republican majority that do not work for the president.
Yeah, I am encouraging libertarians to join the Republican Party because in Georgia, only here in Georgia, libertarians have no chance. They would be better off running as true conservatives in the Republican Party and beating rhinos. I would rather see that than them running as libertarians. And then once they are elected, we can do something about giving fair access, valid access to any party that wants to run in the state.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. You know, and that's a very big thing is Libertarian and Constitution Party. They are not wrong, but they certainly do not have a chance to win in our current system.
No, they do not.
Yeah, that's actually one of the few
Party,
advantages.
Green Party.
Yeah, that's the only advantage of a proportional voting system, which I'm overall against, but that is an advantage of those systems because it does give minor parties representation.
There you go. And I'm all for that.
Yep. So what can I do tomorrow to start working towards purging, say, Tom Tillis from the U.S. Senate in North Carolina?
Well, put his voting record out there.
All righty.
Talk about it every day. Every day until primary.
Sounds like a plan.
Every day.
I don't know who's running against him yet. My money's on Greg Brannon, who has run against both him and Burr before. I feel like he's going to come back this time, and I intend to campaign for him.
Okay. But do what you got to do.
Yep, and I certainly support your campaign in the U.S. Senate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I think that's it. So we're going to come back in 2020. We're going to retake the House, but not with fake conservatives this time. We're going to take it back with the real conservatives. And we're going to strengthen the Senate in the same way.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to thank you, Derrick, for this interview and for giving me the time of day, because you really help my channel in having an authoritative figure on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm glad you have been of assistance.
Yep. I think I lost you for a second there. All righty. So, yep, that was it. Thank you.